First question of the day. Hi again. I met this guy in 23 and ever since then, we clicked like magnets. Up to this point, we basically know each other like we were born together. We were close. Emphasis on were. Just 4 hours ago from when I'm writing... Oh, Jesus. I decided to cut off our friendship. Mind you, we dated for a few months, but then broke up eventually. Even though we broke up, we were still texting like friends again. Like without the love, you and stuff like that. Anyways, I stopped being friends with him because he found another... This music is not it. I'm actually ecstatic for them being a couple together now, but it feels like I still miss him. It's been more than a year, and for some reason, I can't grasp a thought that wouldn't link back to him. A love song comes up or something and I get reminded of him because of the lyrics. Even when like everyday things like the sport I play, Jesus Christ, frequently reminds me of him because we both play the sport competitively. But at the same time, I want him to be with a girl since he's actually able to meet with her IRL since I'm long distance from him. We met online, don't judge. Not judging, judge-free zone. Say it with me, chat. Judge-free zone. I don't want to feel this way about him, but I can't really stop it since he was so my type. It would be better to just leave him and isolate myself from this life since we barely text anymore. It was hard to unfriend him, but I thought about his new girlfriend and was like, she's not going to be happy to hear he's friends with his ex. I was still hoping we could have a chance to be together when we grow older since we have studies still, but I guess that's not happening. It sounds like a question of trying to move on. I think you haven't moved on fully, and that's normal. That's fine. It's not... I think everyone moves on at different rates. Some people move on quicker than others. Some people can even take maybe a year. Heartbreak isn't easy, especially if you both mutually liked each other. I think it's easier if like it was only one-sided. I understand it's hard to move on in things that you do remind you of this person. And it sounds like you have a pretty mature mindset in terms of like, you know that you need to cut contact with him to help yourself move on. And it's also beneficial that, you're not really in contact with him if he has a new girlfriend too. I think that's pretty mature decisions. But at the end of the day, it sounds like you're still personally struggling. Sometimes taking a leap forward means leaving a few things behind. This is true. Not everyone in your life is supposed to be in your life together. I know the last comment you left was like, I hope together maybe one day we can be older and maybe reunite. That's a very romanticized way of looking at an outcome. And life is not easily romanticizable. This is not media. This is not your shoujo romantic anime, okay? This is not like... It's just not like that, unfortunately. And maybe it sounds like this is one of your first encounters with this sort of experience. But I think it will help shape your mentality to realize that, like, things like this will happen. Like, the amount of people you meet in your life and move on in your life happens the most during when you're in school. Think about it. All these people you know and meet in school, and then you move schools. That's like 20, 30, maybe 40 acquaintances you've ever met just gone from your life instantly. You may not even see them again. Maybe some of them were friends. Maybe most of them weren't. But the point is, like, so many people will come and go into your life. The point is, so many people will come into your life. You can't expect to keep them all. This isn't fucking Pokemon. Okay? There's no one in this world that can say I have it all. And if they say that, they're lying. And they're probably depressed. Deep down inside. A common struggle people have with moving on is they aren't used to being by themselves after being with someone for a period of time. People get used to environments and very comfortable very easily. But once it's taken away from them, they kind of forget who they are and what they did before that time came. Like just as you were once happy long ago before a relationship, you can once again be happy after it. It's hard to see, but it's still possible. And it takes time to realize. You can type whatever you want to respond to these questions, guys. I went down a rank today? I was 290 yesterday! What happened? I didn't even do anything! I stream once and I go down a rank. Every time I stream... Oh my god, dude. I barely even farmed yesterday. Who just decides to go in the rank? Deep breaths. Deep breaths. Anyways, Casey, my advice to you is you need to reality check yourself. Just a little bit. There's some, I'm not going to say you're being delusional. I'm not, well, maybe a little. The last comment is a little delusional. You can't be like, I'm hoping we could still have a chance to be together one day. No, let's keep it real. The chances of that is like a meteor crashing into my house right fucking now. Pretty low. In another timeline, my house exploded, but that's not this timeline. It's important to ask yourself realistically why you still are attached to him. And it sounds like it's because you think there is a chance, and there's not. You need to tell yourself no, and you need to tell yourself there are so many other people you will meet in the future. Because it sounds like you're pretty young, I'm gonna be honest. It sounds like you're pretty young. Distance is key. It's true. I had a friend a couple years ago who was asking for advice about how to move on from a similar situation where their ex-significant other had a new significant other. And what I told them was, you need to just distance yourself. And people think distancing themselves has to be toxic. It doesn't have to be toxic. Sometimes people need distance to think and remember who they are. And that's totally chill, dude. Like, just because like you don't want to talk to someone doesn't mean you fucking hate them. It means like you want to take care of yourself, and that's just putting yourself first. You shouldn't feel bad about something like that. Everyone needs space. Can't start a new chapter if you're rereading the old one. It's true. You keep thinking about all the things you could have done and all the things you miss. You won't have time to put your pen down and write what you're gonna do next. And that's why I farm gene ranks every day. Can I pay you to be my therapist? God, please no. You just start a podcast? What, like an inspirational podcast? If I did a podcast, I'd only do it high. Damn, when did Jake's stream turn into advice when he used to be blunt back then? I still think I'm pretty blunt. That's why we
should keep calm, breathe, and play Crooked Man 3.
I'm not playing Crooked Man 3. Well, no, the story behind Crooked Man 3 is I did play, but I can't fucking find the footage because it's gone. Let's look at that next question. Callie. Read with me, guys. I was kind of confused when it came to my past relationships. I would lose feelings easily and would let them go because I was only infatuated or something. Oh, Jesus. Now I'm glad that I actually... No judge zone. Now I'm glad that I actually have someone to be with after being the dumb girl I was. Me and my boyfriend have been dating for 7 months now, and things have gotten really better since I met him. Realizing that this is the feeling of what a serious relationship looks like, everything still feels new, to the point we both struggle in keeping up a conversation for no reason. Sometimes we just randomly bring up something and it'd be awkward silence. There are just times that I want to approach him in a comfortable way like normal partners do, but I hesitate so much. Any word of advice on how to communicate with him easily? I would say it sounds like you both are very inexperienced with relationships. Not that I have like any decent, insane amount, but it sounds like inexperience. And there's nothing wrong with inexperience. I think in a relationship, if you break it down, I would say psychologically break it down. You're both in a relationship because like you like each other. And if you go into that knowing this, you can confidently, maybe not confidently, but you should be able to comfortably experiment. And when I say experiment, I mean try things. Try saying things, try doing things. Any activity or conversations you have will just make being comfortable around each other like much easier. It does sound like this is some sort of inexperienced diff. I'm not gonna lie, because you both struggle to keep up a conversation. But at the same time, communication can be like many things. Like, don't be afraid to like try saying things, because at the end of the day, you both know you're trying because you're putting in effort. And when you show effort to someone you like and they like you back, that is attractive. That's attractive. And that's how you keep the attraction. Effort and communication. Just showing that you still care in some way is enough for the other person to realize, you know, hey, we still like each other. And sure, it can be awkward when you're trying out things, but you have to try to communicate if you care about this other person, because that's the least you can do to show like the effort of like love. The effort of love, the art of love, effort and communication. Trying is not embarrassing. Exactly, especially when it's like such an enclosed environment and it's just you guys. It's literally you guys against the world. Us against the world. You know what I mean? Like, and you're on the same team. Like, when you're in a relationship, you have to always remember you're on the same team. So when arguments happen, it's you guys against the argument, not you guys against each other. That's how it should be looked at. You know? I'm like ranting, but like obviously you guys aren't arguing. But the point is, The point is, just try opening up a conversation about expectations and boundaries. Because it also sounds like you guys haven't established that yet. And so that's why it may feel awkward. Because maybe the other person thinks the silence is fine. Some people don't mind silence. And the farther you get into a relationship too, I will say, all the new happy butterflies and feelings, you may think like it disappears. And you may be like, oh no, am I losing like the spark? No, you're not. You're becoming comfortable with someone. How do you expect to live the rest of your life with someone if you don't have down times? When you're in a relationship, it's not gonna always be all high love and like high waves. There's gonna be low tides and low waves. And when those happen, it's not a bad thing. It's just part of life. It's the same thing in life. Sometimes you'll have really good moments in your life, and then sometimes you're gonna have really just boring moments and you feel like you're not doing anything. But that's not, it's not to tell you that, something's going wrong. It's just to show you that that is life. And now you are sharing your life with another person. So you're both gonna feel those low waves too. And there's nothing wrong with that, bro. There's nothing wrong with that. And the more comfortable you become with those times, you will have a goated relationship. My official advice to you, pardon my rambling, be open about how you want to communicate with them. Even if it's a question of like, are you okay with a silence like this? And then maybe they'll say, yeah, I just like to vibe maybe. And as long as I'm spending time with you, we don't have to talk. When I was in like past relationships, we would like call, right? And we didn't have to do anything. We were just, I think this person talked about it here, especially if you're long distance. When you call, like I used to call someone and then just do our own thing. And we didn't like necessarily talk to each other, but we just had each other's presence as we carried on through life. And that's like, that goes back to what I was saying about the relationship thing, where it's like, you're just a part of someone's life now. Quality time. And there's gonna be highs, there's gonna be lows. That's just how it is. Yeah, so like you used to call your girlfriend while doing laundry, like, fuck it, whatever. Oh, I ulted. Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's your relationship. Exactly. So don't be afraid to try to make it better. I feel like that's such a misconception. People are afraid to fight to make it better, I mean, okay, maybe fight's a harsh word, but like trying to make it better shouldn't be seen as something you should avoid. I'm out of fucking condensed resin, bruh. And it's all, yeah, totally. It's understandable to be afraid of past experiences too. Anyways, yeah, I'm wrapping up this one. Word of advice. I already said this already too. I feel like I answered this like a million times, but I need meds. I need to go to a doctor and they need to tell me I have ADHD and they need to give me like fucking like Adderall or something, dude. I can't have these conversations. I keep circling. I thought you already had ADHD. I do! I just haven't seen a doctor in 2 years. Ever since I moved to California because I'm too lazy. Why is it raining? Last question. Everyone, bring out your ear emojis. 19 male, SoCal, graduated last year in May. I've been trying to get a job for the past year, specifically an entry-level job. After graduating, I decided to take a year off to get a job to make some money so I can afford stuff that helps to do the things I want to do, music, video editing, all that kind of stuff. Since then, I haven't been in an actual or real interview, and it's kind of getting to me. I don't understand why I can't find a simple job while some of my other friends got a job almost effortlessly. Is it something about me? Did they just get lucky? Am I not trying hard enough? Am I having a hard time deciding whether to enroll into community college this year or still finding a job to make money to do things I actually want to do? I'm not asking for a direct answer, just a few words would be enough. I feel like this is a very similar situation where most 19-year-olds, maybe people graduating, feel. And I feel like a lot of people in my chat also may feel the same way as well about trying to find out what to do next in life. And I was in the same situation, of course, when I graduated high school as well and dropped out of college. What I will say, first off, it is so hard to find a job right now. And listen, if you feel like you're doing everything you can do, it's just really hard to find a job. And I'm gonna assume you are doing everything you sound like a great guy, you sound like you're just trying to figure out how to like make the most of your life. And it's gonna be hard to find a job right now just because of the job market. It's fucking insane. And everything is like rising in price. I mean, I live in LA, to be fair. Everything's just fucked anyways in LA. But Glazing the chatter. Okay, listen, I'm trying to be nice because here's the thing. My immediate answer would be like, yeah, go back to school, buy time, but while you're buying this time and waiting for things to get better, you're getting another degree or something. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like the education system is like the most dog shit thing ever. However, community college can be good. I went to community college and I have a certificate in web design, a 1-year certificate that is expired, but I got some sort of degree at some point, and those can be helpful for finding entry-level jobs. What I will say with confidence though is that some people find jobs and opportunities by meeting other people. And what do I mean by this? Do I mean go to college, meet people? Sure, that also helps a lot. What I would say is like connections is so crucial for finding jobs, right? You can get a degree, you can get a 4.0 GPA, but bro, if you don't have any fucking personality, or okay, let me rewind. Let me phrase it better. I've been reading a book recently about the comparison between intelligence and emotional intelligence, IQ and emotional EQ, IQ and EQ. And for the longest time, IQ used to be a like measurement of like how much success you may see in the future because of how smart you are, like quote unquote smart, right? And over time, this measurement kind of shifted because people started to realize you can have a really, really good IQ, but in social situations where you need to be in a team, with other people, or communicate, or just be in a social setting altogether, because that's what humans are going to be 100% of the time when working. If you don't have a lot of that EQ, you can't make any use of that IQ. The point what I was saying earlier though is that like nowadays EQ is like pretty important. Knowing how to maneuver a social like area or situation with friends or people, and knowing how to cooperate in a like mature manner can sometimes outweigh like whatever IQ you may have. Not to say IQ isn't important, but there's been a sort of light shown on EQ where it's like it's just as important in situations. And why I'm talking about this is because sure, you can get a degree, sure, you can ace every test, but if you don't know how to talk to someone, how can you correctly communicate to someone that you have this sort of knowledge? If you can't communicate what skills you have, people won't know you have the skills. I know, Ross, you're talking about maybe going back to school and just playing it a safer route in terms of education, which is always I can help too. But what I will say, regardless of what decision you make, the advice I can give to you for sure that will definitely help if you stick with it, be open to meeting people and making like human connections, whether it's going to like a fucking neighborhood barbecue on a Friday evening during the 4th of July. I don't fucking know. Or going to like, a little book club or something if you like reading books. The more people you meet, the more opportunities and chances you have. And not just like, trying to snag a business opportunity. Sure, you can get something like that, but don't always have that in mind. Have the goal in mind to make a human connection. Because not only will it give you opportunities and present opportunities, but it will also fulfill you. You will feel better about yourself. You will learn more perspectives in lives that other people have. And it will overall make you a much more mentally and self-aware person that, there are all these other people, doing these things too. I haven't gotten a single good fucking artifact today!